It is done. Odell Beckham traded from the New York Giants to the Cleveland Browns. We are still working to figure out the final details on this one. But Beckham is gone, and John Dorsey is all in right now to build this thing around Baker Mayfield. He has got his number one wide receiver and a buddy of Jarvis Landry, I might add. So let's check Landry's Twitter account in the coming minutes to see what his reaction is going to be. The Browns are all in. You know, Dorsey said a couple of weeks ago he thinks maybe it's a little bit too early to start talking about the Browns going for it. He was playing coy. They are going for it. Cleveland Browns trading for former Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham.
Mike Garafolo with, dare I say, the biggest breaking news we will hear this entire offseason. Ian Rappaport, what can you add to Mike's report?
When we talk to people who are familiar with John Dorsey's thinking, what he has wanted really all along was a number one receiver. There's not that many in the NFL. He has been calling around, but this is the guy that he wanted for a couple reasons. I mean, this is a team, as Mike said, building around Baker Mayfield. Obviously, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham's buddy on the team as well, as is his former college receiver coach, Adam Henry. There were a lot of pieces in place that made this make sense. The Giants just needed to be wowed with an offer. We will see what this offer ends up being. The expectation is a first-round pick at the least, but we will see finally what it is. Either way, the Cleveland Browns doing work. Odell Beckham Jr. headed to Cleveland. But I will add one thing. One thing we saw with the Antonio Brown trade is he got traded from Pittsburgh to the Raiders, immediately got an alteration to his deal. Does Odell want an upgrade to his deal now that he is no longer the highest paid receiver in the NFL? That could be an interesting question going forward for the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, boy. Well, there is so much to talk about here. Ian, I know you're going back to the phones. Mike Garafolo breaking the news that will shock the sports world. One of the greatest football players in the game traded in his prime after receiving a humongous contract just a year ago. Mike Garafolo, Ian Rappaport, fantastic work right there. Where do we begin with this one?
I wish that you all could have seen his reaction when he initially heard the news.
Well, let's former Brown,
Thomas.
Former Giant here, too, so we get both angles of
We've
this
got
right
both
here.
sides.
Hi,
yes.
Joe.
Your reaction
What's
far
up,
less
buddy?
enthused. Joe Thomas, what do you think of this?
Yeah, I'm just blown away. I mean, the moves that John Dorsey has been able to make in just a couple years as a general manager, just flipping that entire organization is just jaw-dropping. You pair Jarvis Landry with his buddy Odell Beckham Jr., and you put the franchise quarterback with Baker Mayfield back there, and those guys are going to be together for a long time. You know that river that was burning in Cleveland and that big parade they had after the Cavs won? They better have the firefighters on standby because that city is about to burn down. That is a Browns town, and they can feel it and they can taste it right now.
It feels like you may have left the game just a little bit too early.
Yeah, you're going to get a text message here. Joe, do you got
Bad
one more?
knees, bad knees. Why wouldn't you be there for me a couple more years?
Well, they couldn't pay all these players when you were there. You were taking all the dough.
Wow.
Sean,
Listen to
and
this
rightfully
guy.
so.
Listen to this
Okay.
You
guy.
know what?
It's like that.
Let's get to this angle from it because, look, no one questions Odell Beckham Jr.'s talent. But for the Giants to make this move, to say goodbye to the – oh, actually, stand by. We have more breaking news right now. I'm going back over to Mike Garafolo right now. Mike, what can you follow up on your report?
Yeah, all right, we got the terms now. The Giants are going to receive the Browns' first-round pick this year. That's number 17 overall. They get the second of the Browns' third-round picks, and they get safety Jabril Peppers. He's a Jersey native, I believe. So he is coming back home here to New Jersey as a member of the Giants. You had to blow the Giants away on this one. From what I was told, they were asking for the moon with any teams that inquired, and there were a few teams involved. I heard back from one earlier today that said he must be going to Cleveland because the Giants seem to be making the final rounds here. And so this deal right here was enough to blow the Giants away, obviously, to get this deal done. The momentum picked up quickly on this one today.
Mike, excellent work there. We'll come back to you shortly. So, a first-round pick, number 17 this year. Jabril Peppers, who was a first-round pick 2 years ago, and a third-round pick going to the New York Giants in exchange for Odell Beckham Jr. My question back to you is this. This had to be something about the personality or the attitude or the locker room fit, because it was not about the talent level for Odell Beckham.
Yeah, obviously off the field, definitely overshadowing the on-the-field production. I'm shocked at this, I think we all were. But because Odell Beckham is such a phenomenal player and so explosive, I think the off-the-field stuff got to be a little much. But also the offer was huge. But to me, the third factor in all this is Saquon Barkley. The only reason the Giants were able to do this was because of Saquon Barkley. He was so electric. He was so explosive. He was their offense last year. And that is really why they felt like, you know what, with this guy, with Sterling Shepard, with Evan Ingram, we could still win some football games even without OBJ. I think for the Giants and for the Giants fans, Odell became such an icon. So this to me it's not just football. Mm-hmm. It's also, man, this guy, he was the New York Giants face of the franchise for a number of years.
We've got somebody on the phone here who knows what it's like to be the face of a franchise as a wide receiver. Michael Irvin, what do you think of this?
Wow. Listen, I'm blown away. And, Sean, I hear what you were saying about, of course they're going to lean on Saquon Barkley, a phenomenal talent there. But I also saw what it looked like for the first few games for the Dallas Cowboys without Dez Bryant, who used to take some coverage out of stacking that line of scrimmage now. And as much as Saquon is a beast in that backfield, now he's going to deal with way more stacked boxes than he's ever dealt with, because without Odell Beckham back there, everybody's saying they only have one asset, one weapon. Let's go stop him. So to me, it almost signals that the Giants are almost in complete rebuild mode. That's complete rebuild mode for me. When you let a talent like this go into Cleveland, oh my God, what